If two four-sided dice were rolled, we need to determine the probability of getting double twos, and the directions tell us to write our answer as a fraction. Remember, probability is a measure of how certain something is to happen. We can calculate the probability of a certain event happening by taking the number of favorable outcomes and dividing that by the total number of outcomes. For this problem, we're going to start by looking at a diagram that shows us the total number of possible outcomes that we can have when we roll two four-sided dice. If we toss two four-sided dice, that tells us that we have four different possible outcomes for the first toss, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then for each of those possibilities, there are four outcomes for the second toss, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So when we count up all of the different possible combinations that we can have from both dice, there are 16 possible outcomes. For the number of favorable outcomes, we need to go through these 16 options and see how many of them are double twos. And there's actually only going to be one favorable outcome for this because there's only one way that we can have double twos. That's by rolling a 2 in the first toss and rolling a 2 in the second toss. So this tells us that the number of favorable outcomes is 1, and the total number of possible outcomes is 16. When we plug these two numbers into the probability fraction, that gives us a probability of 1 over 16. So the probability of rolling double twos when you roll two four-sided dice is 1/16, and that's the final answer to problem 21.